Hello, my name is Daniel, and I'll be demoing a robotic system that I designed for a simple demo on autonomous video-guided surgery. The system will analyze an apple surface, and it will try to determine if it's healthy or if it's unhealthy. And if it's unhealthy, it will track its unhealthy spot. Then after that, then the video tries to determine if the spot is a big spot or a small spot. And um, after that has been concluded, then it begins the autonomous video-guided surgery. This is a symbolic surgery that essentially will just start fracturing, control breaking the spot surface, and then after it's done, it will pour a catalyst. Now, symbolically, this could represent a disinfectant after a surgical procedure, or some sort of primer, or some sort of filling. So it's just a concept demonstration for autonomous video-guided surgery. The unhealthy spot in the apple will be marked by a marker. So essentially, it will just try to simulate an unhealthy spot by just drawing some circular or some abnormality. But this in itself is just a healthy fruit. There's no spots in here, but I will simulate the unhealthy spot by drawing on the surface with a marker.
The system components are a desktop computer, a USB camera, a microcontroller unit, the brachio system, and a stepper motor, and of course the apple fruit that will be the target. The program execution flow essentially it first gets data from the camera, then it feeds it to the first neural network. And then after the first prediction of whether this fruit is healthy or unhealthy, and if we have a spot, an unhealthy spot, then that information is passed to the program, which will run the second neural network, and then this will have the regression predict the spot circumference and characteristics. The training for both the fruit classifier and the ellipse regressor give very modest results, and they essentially are enough for this demonstration. But the fruit regressor can have some improvements on some of the uh, places it predicts where the spot is, and the ellipse seems to be actually doing a good job um, determining the parameters of the ellipse that is characterizing the damaged spot surface. The light classifiers are able to detect the healthy and unhealthy spots in the apple. This one here is example for the fruit classifier, and it's able to distinguish between the good side of the apple versus the marked side of the apple, and when there's not an apple present. Then the ellipse classifier or the regressor, in this case, it will predict an ellipse regardless, but the what makes this useful is the fact that we can have the ellipse being adjusted according to the characteristics of the spot. For training purposes, it will just predict always an ellipse, but it will be more coherent if we do have what we are looking for. So now going into the full demonstration, placing a healthy apple with no marked spot. And when the program runs, the classifier immediately detects that the fruit is healthy from the image. And now I am just drawing a spot that will represent the unhealthy spot of the apple. So the program runs, the classifier detects it. This is in fact an unhealthy surface, so it proceeds with the next step, which is trying to characterize the dimensions of this surface. And then once it has the coordinates, it begins to perform the control breaking or control fracturing. In this case, it detected a big surface, so it classified um, that circle or ellipse as a big surface according to the dimensions of the spot, and then it just performs the control breaking for a big surface. Now it pours the the catalyst in this case, and once it's done, then it just goes back to its home position, and then the program execution is complete. In this case, again, this was classified as a big fragment. Now we can also have a small unhealthy spot in the fruit, and this will also be detected by the first classifier. And once it detects the fruit does have an unhealthy spot, then it will try to characterize the surface. In this case, we'll probably label this as a small fragment because the damaged surface is small, and now it just proceeds with the control braking, and it just performs the control braking for a small surface. So basically fewer breaks. This was indeed classified as a small fragment. Thank you.